Live from the City of Angels, you are watching MMT Sunday Night Spectacular. As we have a ton of box office, got a ton of future things to discuss. Is Hollywood in crisis mode as the strikes linger on and on and on? Also, Nosferatu first reactions. A ton of stuff to talk about here tonight. I want to make sure that you get in with the comments early and often. I'm by myself again, so just bear with me if I don't get to it. I'm going to do my best. But let's start with this. The Nun 2 is the number one film in America as of tonight. It could swap tomorrow with A Haunting in Venice. These films are separated by $200,000. That's nothing. Okay, that means that we've got the Sunday happening right now, and once we get the number tomorrow, the actual, right? The estimate Sunday, we get the actual, we'll know who won. I have a feeling it's going to be Haunting in Venice, just barely. It's going to be really close. I mean, this is a photo finish, but kudos to Warner Brothers. How you play the game. Here's what happened, okay? Let me just walk you through how this game gets played here in Hollywood. So, Haunting in Venice put their number out at 14.5. And Warner Brothers was late with their number. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. This is what Sony did a few weeks ago. There's a lot of gamesmanship going on. And they said, oh, hey, hold on, that's 14.5. Why don't we just say The Nun? Let's make Sunday like crazy, and let's make it 14.7. So we beat them. And we get to have the number one film in the country again, because tomorrow most of you forget, right? Because look, it's 200,000 apart. It's just basically a photo finish. We'll find out tomorrow. But really, let's talk about A Haunting in Venice, because it's man, listen, what a boring film. Did anyone else see this film? Did you guys actually disregard my advice and go patronize another Kenneth Branagh forgettable murder mystery? I mean, these films have to stop. They've got to end. And I'm going to go after a bunch of critics tonight who are like, oh, it's a blast. It's so much fun. It's spooky. It's entertaining. You all suck. Guys, again, I'm sorry. We got to be a little bit harsh again tonight. I'm not kidding, guys, when I say this. I mean this. Please hear me out. The vast majority of film critics are terrible at this. And that's being too kind, actually. I want to apologize for not going strong enough than terrible. I need to go lower, atrocious. You know, I thought about this. I was talking to someone on the phone. On the way back, I was down playing beach volleyball today because I don't just see movies. I have a life outside of this. Shocking, right? And I was talking to the person and I said, you know what's interesting? I think that when you look at a lot of people, they don't have good taste. We just assume people have good taste, right? But look how they dress. Look at the restaurants they choose. Look at the movies they watch. More than half the direct on Netflix. So what makes you think that the average film critic has good taste? They don't. Most of them don't even know what they're talking about. They watch a movie that's supposedly good because it's art house, it's A24, it's neon, it's whatever. It's the cool new director. It's a director who already had a really cool film. Therefore, this next film has to be great too. No, what? No, we start over. It's a blank slate. I don't care who it is. Whether it's Fincher, it's Bong, it's Tarantino. For me, Rose Glass, her second film or follow-up to Saint Maud, I don't care. It's going to be a brand new day with that. But listen, let's go back to Haunting in Venice. I'll go off on critics again a little bit. Typical MMT. We're bouncing all over the joint already here on a Sunday night. When you look at the film at 14.5 million, globally the number was in the 30s, I don't know why they keep making these films. I mean, it's a break-even prospect. Maybe it makes them a few dollars. We need to stop. We need to tell Kenneth Branagh to stop making these. In the name of art, in the name of cinema, stop giving us this crap. And here's the other reason can I ask you a question? If you made a film, could you turn it around in roughly a year? I mean, look, the last one was out in 2022. Here's the next one. They didn't go back to back, different location, all that stuff, right? This one suffers tremendously from the fact you're stuck in a palazzo with all of these miserable people for, thank God, it was an hour and 40 minutes. But you look at this film, and there's just no reason for it to exist. And moviegoers said that. I called 14 on Thursday. Go back and look at the tape. I was going to pull it up. I didn't have time. Trust me. If I say it happened, that's the rules. That's the MMT rules. If I say something happened, it happened. 14 million, 14.5. Who knows if it goes up or down? We're pretty damn close on that number because we saw the movie and like, what the hell? Stop making this shit. I don't want to watch these films. I'm done watching things like The Nun 2, Haunting in Venice, and then watching other critics say these are good films or these are entertaining films. Your stock is gone. Like, it's over. You're a penny stock once you start recommending this shit. These are bad films. These are useless films, and you wonder why Hollywood's in trouble. It's our big story here tonight we'll get to momentarily. When you give moviegoers this garbage that we're getting right now on the heels of an Oppenheimer and a Barbie and all these big films we had throughout the summer, what a shame Paramount didn't have Mission Impossible right here. It would do so much better because people want to go to the movies. Even if there is NFL football, college football, all this stuff starting back up, school, all that. It doesn't matter. People want to go to the movies. They have that mindset now. But when you give them this garbage, this refuse that we have, such as Haunting in Venice or Nun 2, and they end up being the 1-2 film of the weekend, man, we're in a bad spot. Hollywood's in trouble because films like Oppenheimer aren't coming anytime soon. We're going to look at the release schedule over the next several weeks. We do have Killers of the Flower Moon coming. That'll outperform, but it's not going to be a Oppenheimer outperform. Maybe if we get lucky, Scorsese, right? We got a Paramount, Apple theatrical release on it. Thank God it's Apple, not Netflix. Can I just hammer Netflix again right here? I really want to, because it just hit me again for the 1 millionth time how shitty Netflix is. If this were another Scorsese Netflix movie like The Irishman was, we wouldn't even be getting Killers of the Flower Moon in the theaters. We'd be getting it in like a couple of theaters out in Barstow here in LA, and that qualifies as theatrical for shitty Netflix. And why do you hear me? I want to bury that company because they are doing this so wrong. I don't care if you're a streaming company, Netflix. I don't give two shits. You're going to play the game like everybody else. That's just the deal. And just think about this. Kills the Flower Moon, Netflix. None of you get to see it in IMAX, not in Regal and AMC, Cinemark, none of the big chains, because it's a Netflix movie. And you wonder why I ride that company so hard. You wonder why I completely go after them 24/7, and no other critic has the balls, not one has the balls to do what I do, because they're afraid they're not going to get invited to the next movie. Maybe they don't get a screener for the next Netflix movie. Oh, I'm so sad for you. If you base your validation on an invite to an FYC event or an after party or a screening link, your life is pathetic. I'm just going to lay it out like that. You have a completely sad existence on this planet. These are movies we're talking about. What do I have passion about? Cinema, going to the movie theaters, not sitting in my house and watching on TV, where the government wants to say, oh, here comes another variant, some bullshit that I don't want to hear anymore, because we are adults. We can take care of ourselves, and I trust you can too. But Netflix has been doing it wrong now for the better part of how many years at theatrical? 6 years, going back to Roma? And they still are like, well, we don't know if it's really part of our company mission. I got news for you. It is now, bitches. Do it. That's how we have to do this shit. That's why I'm telling you, man. One day it's going to happen. You're going to read in the trades. Erick Weber named studio head at X, and then shit's going to happen like you've never seen. You think James Gunn is doing some shit down the street at DC Warner Brothers. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. First of all, Netflix would never. But if they did, I would walk in and fire, no joke, 75% of the people in the building. They're gone. All of you are fired. Go home. I'm doing the Alec Baldwin, Glengarry Glen Ross speech. Only 5 of you are going to stay. I'll make it like, in second place, you're fired. That's how we're doing it. We're going to do it like that. That was fun. I like doing Netflix rants. But seriously, name another critic. Name one. Go for it. Name one. Name one critic who has even attempted to savage Netflix the way I do. No, because I might not get to go to that party and hang out in the corner and look at all the stars. Your first problem is you put these stars on pedestals. They're people. They're human beings. I don't think that any of these stars are better than me. I don't think I'm better than them. but they certainly don't walk on water. And that's funny. When you take that approach, it's weird. People go, whoa, what? You're not. No, they're people. Can I tell you my Elizabeth Olsen story again? I mean, I did kind of just like completely just go, but it wasn't because she was a star. Can I say that? It's not because Elizabeth Olsen was a star that I was like, it was because she is like drop dead, heart attack, over, keel over, beautiful. So that has nothing to do with she was a star. She was any woman that looks like that. You go, oh my God. Barbie is now the 11th biggest film domestic all time. It takes out the Avengers to move into 11th. That's domestic, right? We know it's the number one film globally this year. And back to Oppenheimer, didn't mention it took down Bohemian Rhapsody. Thank God. For a lot of you, you hate that film. I don't know why. Why do you guys hate Bohemian Rhapsody so much? I mean, it's not great, but having listened to the music of Queen, especially, oh my God, Flash, right? That whole soundtrack. I go back to It's a Kind of Magic, that whole cassette. I wore out both sides, clear cassette, EMI. I listened to that thing back and forth. That album deserved a lot better. And then, of course, the theme from Iron Eagle. If that doesn't get you going, right? One Vision, right? Oh my God, that song. When it's just like, and I'm just like, I put that on at the gym and people are like, what's up with that guy? He just jumped like 70 inches in the air. I'm like, hell yeah, I did. It's One Vision by Queen. You kidding me? That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's continue. It's just going to be one of those nights. That's what the channel is. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, whatever mission I had for the channel is gone. This channel is just going to be a bunch of endless rants and raves, hopefully some positive things, which I think we've just had a few. As long as it doesn't involve Netflix, I'm good. Gran Turismo. I'm gonna get angry again. Damn, I didn't want it. It's over 100 million worldwide. You guys screwed this film. You, all of you. I'm talking directly to you right now. You're the reason this film is only at 100 million worldwide because you saw the trailer, and I don't blame you. You saw the trailer, and it's like, it doesn't look good. And then, if you would have bothered to go to the movies like I do and see virtually everything. I saw a tiny film called The Inventor from Blue Fox Entertainment last night. It's an animated movie about Da Vinci's life and how he helped out the French king. And it's the weirdest film I've seen of the year, but it has some moments that are really have great clarity about soul searching in a way. But the movie itself is just not fantastic because it's got all these different things going on at the same time. Not a well-directed film, right? Or it's just, listen, one of the jobs of a director, you guys know this, but I need to state this. The director's job is to pull together all of the elements and present them in a way that is entertaining for you. Whatever the film is, it doesn't matter. What's Oppenheimer, you're doing a biopic. Obviously, the way that Nolan goes about telling that story is much different than a lot of people would, but that's one of the reasons why the film is more interesting because it tells it through different timelines at the same time. You're a little lost that first time, right? Second time, you get it. Third time, for sure, you can see everything that's going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be challenged, right? But this film, because the direction isn't great, it can't pull together all of the things it's trying to do and present them with the clarity that you need for the film. And that comes back to the director. The director's job is to bring everything together and then present it in a very entertaining, informative, whatever the film's trying to do way. You look back at Dumb Money, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Dumb Money is very well told from a story perspective because Gillespie knows how to do that. He also knows how to make his film just generally move, right, and continue forward thrust, as we like to call it. But the problem with that film is in the screenplay, there's too many characters. We need to remove a couple, tighten the scope up, and then we get a better film. But, I mean, it's solid film. And when you look at it opening at 27,000 per, which is a really good number. Typically, like the number one film, let's look here. The number one film average-wise this weekend usually is around 10 per screen. So if we're at 27, you know, it could vary. It could go from 10 to 20. But once we start pushing 20 plus, that's good. And I like this because this is a typical strategy we do with a awards film. And I know that Sony thinks this could be. And I know one of the reasons they did the platform and they say is because we have the strike. We're talking about the strike here momentarily, okay? And I need you guys to comment about this because I'm telling you, Hollywood's in bad shape. because we got movies that suck and we got no movies being made. 2 months worth now with the SAG strike, writer strike going back 4 months. We're think about this going forward is where we're going to be absolutely hosed in the theater owners. And then we're going to start getting all these articles like, is it safe to go to the movies again? And then we have to live through all that crap again. Mask up, everybody. Listen, if you want to wear a mask, do it. If you don't, I don't care. I'm tired of the government legislating our lives. It's not, I need you, government. It's very simple. Oh, here it goes. We're off into another tangent. I need the government to just keep the roads clear, keep people from attacking me in the middle of the street, which happens very often, just me being me in general. But I need to be safe. I need the roads to work. I need my power on so the government can help control. I guess we could, they can do the power and the phones and whatever. I don't need them to give me health advice. That's why I go to the gym. That's why I take vitamins. That's why I exercise. I was playing volleyball for like 5 hours a day. I do not need the government coming in and going, well, we think, no. Listen, when you look like the health, have you seen the health commissioner in LA? This is the person that's going to tell me? You're going to tell me what's healthy? Barbara Ferrer? Look at her. That's the last person I would ever take health advice from. Do you remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger, back in the 80s, right? When he was like the man, he was the presidential fitness guy. Remember that whole thing? And he brought the fitness to the schools. It was this big thing. Now it's like no one talks about that. Instead, we get our news from Barbara Ferrer, who looks like Skeletor as a woman. So I don't know what that is. You guys make the comparison. But you're going to tell me you're the health person? I'm available. You want me the health person? Well, first of all, they don't want me because I'm going to come in and say, hey, guys, it's really simple like this. You want to wear a mask, go for it. If you don't. You're in charge of your own health. They'd be like, shut this thing down. This news conference has to end. This is too real. We need to scare people. So what are you doing? You're fired, Eric. Fine. I don't care. But at least I would grab the mic and I'd be like, just do whatever you want within reason as long as you're not hurting anybody. And they'd yank it away. But the reality is that advice is exactly what we need. How am I wrong? Have I been wrong about anything yet tonight? Anything? I'm sorry. Well, let's just do a little politics. Who cares? I mean, guys, we're talking about movies. We can do whatever we want. We need government service to provide for the needy. Yes, sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, here in LA, the homeless problem, my God, guys, we can't overstate it. I mean, it is really terrible. I go down, so I live in the Valley, in Burbank, and I drive across to my gym, which is actually in like West Hollywood, Sunset Strip area. I love it. It's my favorite place. It's amazing. It's worth every penny I pay because it absolutely motivates you. But every time I go through Hollywood now, I would never live in Hollywood because you go through Hollywood and there's always some ranting lunatic. I'm not saying these people are terrible. They're, untouchables. I'm just telling you what I see. I'm coming down the hill in front of like the Hollywood Bowl, and here comes somebody out of the hills. They come walking out of the hills, and it looks like I'm living like Day of the Dead. You go, what? The guy's out there and, pants down, like crazy shit. And you just go, okay. So now we're being forced to kind of accept it. And I don't know where all the money goes, right? They spend millions, billions of dollars on the homeless. And it's like, I understand. Listen, I will say this, and then we'll get back to movies. Okay. I promise. Here's the issue is that you spend billions and then nothing happens. So then you start to say, well, then what are you actually doing? Do you want this to continue? Now, I know there's no easy answer, right? Because one side's going to tell you, we'll get back to movies. Okay, guys, I promise. Let me just get this out because I think it's fair. I think it's good. The government's going to tell you that they're going to save everybody by putting them in housing. But you guys know that. You can't do that. It's not going to work because here's the problem with that. A lot of people think that the homeless are going to go into, apartment, let's say, near me, someone near me, and they put them in there and they're all of a sudden going to be respectful, living a good life, going to a 9-to-5 job or whatever the job is. No, they're not. What often happens is you put them in one of those places and they trash it because they don't have their shit together. So then they ruin it. And then it's like, it's not utopia. You can't just grab these people and stick them into, a higher, otherwise we're going to get something, bring it to movies. We're going to get something like Dread. Do you remember that? Oh my god, Dread in 3D. But when they go into the tower and it's like it's poor, and I don't know if it's homeless, but let's just assume in the future. They build a gigantic skyscraper that's just a tenement full all the way up, very much like the Raid. They're almost the same movie, right? But in Dread, and all these people are in this gigantic thing, and it's complete shit show. The place looks like, literally end of the world, catastrophe. Well, anyhow, if we did that, that's what would happen. I mean, it's not going to work. I mean, there are people in the street, don't get me wrong, that probably want to be off the street and have a job and do these things, but I'm not. But a lot of people I see, they look like they're out, like they're on fentanyl and stuff, right? Oh my god! All right, back to movies. It does sound like the opening of Beau is Afraid. Donald, that's a wonderful comment, by the way. The money goes to the high-paying salaries of all the people in charge. Spidey Sensei, thank you so much for that comment, but it's true. There's so many people in this world. The problem with the world is very simple. I know. Look, I'm sorry, I'm not just talking about movies, but movies are the jumping off platform, right? We jump off into Day of the Dead, obviously Romero and Night of the Living Dead, and all that. All that is now kind of what we're living. But they're not real zombies. But if they're on fentanyl, they almost are, right? They're just not biting you. But I mean, shit. In some cases, I literally go by and I go, "Whoa!" I told you the story about the time when I went to go see Tar. I'll make this short because those of you who missed it, I'll tell you quickly. This was the scariest moment I've had in LA. I was going to see Tar over at the Academy Museum, which is down in Wilshire. And as you guys may or may not know, I drink a lot of Diet Mountain Dew, like a real problem. Like it's certainly an addiction. I'm not going to even pretend I don't have one. I drink Mountain Dew Zero and Mountain Dew Zero, Diet Mountain Dew. I drink it all the time. Like if I had a fountain, I would literally have the cup all the time. It'd be like attached. My action figure would have a big gulp. But here's the thing. So I go in to fill up my cup. I like to save the cups. It's a waste. I don't want to trash my cup after one use. So I'm thinking about the earth, right? I am no literally. It's like what a waste to throw out a plastic cup when I can use it at least 2-3 times. It's literally full of like chemicals and shit. I'm not saying it's healthy. I come around the corner and I got my cup and there's a guy and I come around and I go like this and he's looking right at me and this dude was going to do some damage. He looked at me like I've never seen anything and I looked at him like this. I looked right back at him like, go for it, bitch. And because I did that, instead of going, right, I looked at him like, animal in the eyes. And I just looked at him like, no, don't even think about it. Because I was ready. I was like, his like adrenaline surge. And he looked at me and he kept going. But I'm telling you, if I would have looked like the victim in that moment, dude, I don't think I'd be here tonight. When I walked into 7-Eleven, the clerk was like, did you just see that guy? I'm like, yeah, I just looked right at me. He goes, what? He's like, you did what? Yeah, I go, the guy looked like he was going to literally like do some serious damage. I mean, that's kind of this thing here now. Mountain Dew is amazing. Diet Mountain Dew, y'all. Diet Mountain Dew. Bass player, caffeine. Then I'm addicted. I mean, listen. Okay, so here it is. I got one right here. This is one of my at least 4 cans of this I've already had today. So 4 cans of this is not product placement. I'm just telling you what I do. I love this. I drink 4 of these a day minimum. Then you guys are gonna like lose your shit when I tell you what I do. So I have at least 3 or 4 in the morning, often just to wake up. So it's like my coffee. Then when I go to the gym, I have what's called pre-workout, which is like a scoop of hardcore creatine and all these crazy ass like uppers. And then you guys, it's not over. Then I crack open a can of Rockstar Ghost C4. I love C4. My God, C4 is literally, when you have that, it's all of a sudden you just go, and I can just like, I start throwing around weights, like just throwing them around. Here we go. I got this shit. That is the best stuff on the planet. So I do not do drugs. I do not drink a lot of alcohol, but I do have the most ridiculous amount of caffeine per day. I will never argue that. And yes, I'm absolutely addicted. But Donald, I'm not a shill because I love it. Because I love what I drink. I mean, if I was a shill, I'd be talking about Mountain Dew Zero and I'd be being paid. I wish that they paid me to drink this. I wish they'd like show up at my doorstep with the soda machine, like the Big Gulp. And I would just go, oh my God. Honestly, I know this is really sad and I told you the people that get excited to go to parties, that's pathetic. This is going to be really pathetic for you when I tell you this. If one day I have a big gulp machine in my place, I will have considered that the greatest life achievement in my many years on this planet. That's all I want. But I think it's attainable. That's why I get up every day to push towards that goal of having that big gulp machine in my place, one side with Mountain Dew Zero and the other one with Diet Mountain Dew. And I would add for guests and occasionally for me to change it up, Diet Coke. Preferably the Coke Zero is great. I know it's an issue. Deal with it, guys. At least I'm honest, and I'm telling you I have very simple needs. Give me a new soccer/football kit and my Diet Mountain Dew, and I'm a happy man. Speaking of, we're going to get into Hollywood Cooked because that went way out of line. Tonight I picked Norwich. Why am I wearing this? Because Film Courage just showed like my whole interview that I did last year, like the entire 2 hours. You guys can see me strapped to the chair answering 2 hours of questions on Film Courage in this very kit from Norwich. If I had to pick one of the kits that I wear, this is the one I would pick because, first of all, I love the company Joma. These things are badass. Second of all, you've got sponsors. You got obviously Premier League, and you've got a sponsor, JD Sports. Another. I love this kit, and it fits. It's just like you put it on. It's like they talk about like an Italian suit, and it's like Joma's an Italian company. But I'm telling you, if you guys want to just dabble into the football kit /soccer jersey world, get a Joma kit. Joma. Amazing. Okay, couple comments, and we'll get into is Hollywood Cooked. Okay. I'm going to get an email. I might even have it by the end of the show. I think I have it. I just didn't put it in there. So much, Jim. Can you bring the girl? I mean, listen, you know, it's weird. Okay. I'm going to say this too. And you guys are going to be like, this is just like a night. I'm just like honest. And what night am I not? It's weird. I've been single and I'm divorced for a long time now. And I'll be honest with you, I love it. I don't want any part of a relationship again in my life, like ever. Can I tell you this? If I ever get married again, guys, I will pay each one of you $500. Whoever's on the stream now, that's roughly 50 people. So that means I owe, let's see if I do it, 2,500. Is it? No, I said 500 per. I owe $25,000. Okay. That's a lot of money. So I'm not. It's not going to happen. I have no interest. Okay. We'll get them, Mega YouTube. I appreciate that you've been looking at the same movies forever. I love all the movies that are in frame. So that's why they're here. You know, I mean, you can see Lego Movie over my shoulder. Despicable Me, just for what it is, right? And the significance it's had on pop culture. You've got Lego Batman back there. You got The Batman. You got Joker. You got Civil War. You got all these films. It's a nice, diverse array, and it goes higher. Look, do you see what's right over my head? A net. What a cool, weird film. What a weird film. But I love the fact that Adam Driver, how good was he in that? Here's the reason Everything Everywhere, because it's a film that's kind of like part of me because I've gone off on it so much. So I have to have it up there. The other one that I would definitely put up here is Beau is Afraid. If A24 has a Beau is Afraid screener, it's going on the wall because I just want it up there because it's part, like if you Google Erick Weber, it's like Beau is Afraid because I just was, as you guys know, vehemently against everything that film was. And so it's part of who I am, not by design. I don't want that shit. I don't ever want to think about the movie, but I will put it up there. I didn't put The Whale up there because The Whale, God, it's here on the floor somewhere. I hate that movie. That movie, I hate. Beau is Afraid, I'm angry at Ari Aster. I hate the movie, but not as much as The Whale. The Whale is one of the worst screenplays I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely. If Elizabeth Olsen... No, I'm not. I'm not scared of rejection. No, you guys don't understand. I'm just listen. Okay, fine. It's going to sound so egotistical, but I don't care. So, yeah, I get plenty of requests, but the point is I don't even want it. Like I have no interest whatsoever. Let's bring in Gore for a second because I've hammered him all the time. I'll just say, and I'm going to hammer him again because it's true. It's true. Listen to what I'm going to say. But it's true. So what I'm saying is not like he could say this about me. And he'd say, like, yeah, he's single. He doesn't want to deal. No, I don't want to deal. Gore always has to have a girlfriend. Always. It's always has to have. It's like he jumps. You guys know those serial monogamy guys? They jump. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying he's that guy. I don't know if he has a girlfriend now, but I'd be shocked if he doesn't. I would be absolutely. There's no way. Mega YouTube is not happening. It's not happening, man. I'm not gonna. It's gonna be mean what I say. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, is Hollywood cooked? We have to talk about a real problem we have. This show has been. Is there? Can I just ask you a question here? Is there a weirder show on YouTube than this? It's a one-man, almost like stand-up routine. Not a lot of jokes, rants more than jokes. Where just I don't even know where we're going. Like it's just like this sounds good. Let's do this. Then you bring it. Let's do that. Let's do this. That's what the show is. And we just talked about COVID. Talked about movies. Talk about love life. Talk about energy drinks. The gym. It's weird. I know it's weird. Who cares? It's what I want to do. That's what I decided about this channel from now on. I don't care what it is. So we go, well, this isn't really well. Too bad. I'm going to talk about what I want to, and we'll get to movies, and we have time to really dial in on a film that I'm excited about, then of course we're going to do that. But right now it's garbage. That's why Hollywood's cooked. Because you look at this release schedule, you tell me, we're talking about this schedule. We go to firstshowing.net. Alex runs that. So I like to support his site. Let's go down here. We are on Haunting in Venice, September 15th. Next weekend's Expendables 4. Dude, that's garbage, right? You guys know what you're getting into with that. I never saw Expendables 1, 2, or 3. Will I see 4? Probably, because I have nothing else. I got A-list. It lives inside neon horror film. Maybe because there's nothing else, it does a little bit better than expected. But come on, it's like a $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, if you're lucky, opening. Then we get The Creator. I cannot wait for The Creator, right? Because why? Rogue One is, in my estimation, the best Star Wars film of all of them. I think Rogue One, especially the stakes at the end of Rogue One, where we are going to sacrifice our lives. When I saw that before it opened over at Disney. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I know it went through reshoots and stuff, which is crazy that they came up with a film that great, especially the end with Darth Vader. Oh my guys, no. So I'm excited for The Creator. I talked to someone who already saw it, and they seem to like it. They say, you know what they told me? And this is good, because this person knows what I like. This person goes, it's probably something you're going to like. I go, oh, yes. So, but that's not a huge film, right? Sci-fi. Maybe we get something better out of John David Washington. I've been very hard on him. I loved him in BlacKkKlansman. I think he's serviceable. I need to see more out of him as an actor, right? I need to see him expand his range just a little bit and loosen up a little bit. He is too stiff. Dumb Money expands. As we talked about this weekend, it was New York, LA, DC, Austin, Boston, San Francisco. I think those are the cities it started in. And then it expands from there. But it's a very good film. Dumb Money's, compared to the rest of this stuff, it's great. And Jawan is fantastic. Go see that. Go check out my thoughts on that. I have it on the channel. Paw Patrol. Come on, guys. Saw X. I made a decision, guys. I don't want to see Saw X. Like, I really don't. Because I don't like torture porn. I went to see Spiral. And Spiral was torture porn, but it was more, you had Chris Rock. You had Samuel L. Jackson. It was a little different for me. So I didn't mind it. Like, it didn't feel like a Saw movie. I mean, it was, obviously. But here we go. Here, speaking of that, let's do this right now, and we'll get back to the thing. Did you guys see this? This is the... Hold on, let's go back, and let's pop this up. Give me 1 second. We're going to watch the Lion King.
We come to this place
AMC.
for reawakening. We come to the theaters to scream, to beg.
How great is Lionsgate for this? Like, whoever did this, raise, give them money now.
When the lights flicker on and off, and your calls for mercy go unanswered, and you wake up chained in a dirty warehouse, somehow still breathing,
sitting there.
Blood-soaked blades on a huge silver screen.
They made him take this down. AMC did.
That I can
What are you doing?
Somehow, self-amputation feels good in a place like this. Traps. They make make movies better.
Guys, how good is that? Like, seriously, that is such a great spot. You've got what's the guy's name? Jigsaw. Jigsaw's wheeling around on his tricycle. It's really solid, and it's the perfect marketing. But I don't want to see Saw X. I don't like people strapped in chairs getting limbs sawed off. Like, that's not entertaining for me. I never saw the Human Centipede, or what was the other one? Hostel. I just try to stay away. It's not my thing. That's not entertaining to me. It's like, well, we talked about Terrifier, right? Terrifier 1 and 2, like, my God, the level of violence is orgy-tastic. It's out of control. I mean, it is like, it's funny. I saw parts of 1, but I kind of filtered through. I was like watching on some streaming service. I didn't watch the scene where he cuts the girl in half. When I saw it on the screen just a few weeks ago, like, what? Like, this is crossing all kinds of lines. Like, I would never make a movie like that. That doesn't mean that you can't watch it. Like, we're not trying to censor stuff. I'm just telling you, I don't have an interest. There's nothing wrong with me not having interest in someone getting, strapped to a chair and getting their fingers sawed off and then dying, slow death, and no, I don't want to see that. That's not my thing. If it's yours, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't enjoy that. I think it's a little weird if you like. I told you guys what I think about Terrifier. Terrifier is badass. The idea of Art the Clown, and he's menacing as hell, but the movie's too much. The violence level is, I don't want to watch that. It's not my thing. I want to watch something that is spooky, certainly scary, that's no problem, but I don't need the torture porn stuff. I just need to see cool things that challenge me. But this was a great spot. My God, what a great spot. Let's get back to the Hollywood Cooked. Sorry, typical. We're going to just bounce around. You never know where we're going any like 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds from now. I feel like it's Tom Cruise's line from Collateral. He's like, you don't know where you're going to be in 5 minutes. That should be the new motto of MMT. You don't know where you're going to be in 5 minutes. It might be actually more like 5 seconds, but that's just what it is. Sorry. That's what the channel is. I'm not going to change it. Screw all y'all. Okay, Exorcist Believer is on the 6th. That will be, even if it's bad, even if it's David Gordon Green, we know, and the test screenings were terrible, all accounts, is bad. Doesn't matter. There's nothing else out. So the 6th of October will be a pretty good weekend. I bet that outperforms. Plus, it's theatrical only, not like Five Nights at Freddy, which is half and half. Then you got the Taylor Swift movie, the tour thing. I mean, I don't even know if I want to see that. I like Taylor Swift, but I don't really want to watch a concert tour of Taylor Swift. Like, that's not really my thing. You guys know I love Moon Age Daydream, but that's not a concert film. I mean, it's part of it. I saw the last one was the Bowie one. There was a concert film. I just saw it. They had it in for one night. I went to see it. I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Moon Age Daydream. The beauty of Daydream is that Brett has an artistic vision that is singular, and he has really a gift for creating compelling art that is film. And when you watch that, you just go, my God, I mean, this guy, no one else could do it like him. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about singular directorial imprint. Someone who could deliver something like a Nolan, no one else could do like that. Okay, do you see this here called The Delinquents? I'm going to see that tomorrow night. Let me tell you, I don't know much about it. I've not watched the trailer. I'm not going to. It's a Spanish film. It's 3 hours long, which normally I'm like, but here's what I'm hearing out of Cannes. It's really good. All I'm hearing about this Delinquents is that it's really interesting. Someone called it a future cult classic. Okay, when I hear that thrown around from not one or two, but a bunch of critics, even if I think most of them suck, then I think I'll give it a shot. I'm going to see that in Beverly Hills tomorrow, so I'll maybe have a reaction. I know that's not a big film. I get it. But if I love this film, I'm going to do a reaction afterwards. If not, we'll do it on Thursday when I see it. Then Killers of the Flower Moon. But look, guys, Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be day and date on. Then look, Dune Part 2. Guess what? You're crossed off. That hurt, man. That really, really, absolutely cut like the deepest way. That's brutalizing for theater owners. Okay, Holdovers is going to be, I'm looking forward to that. I'll see that here soon, probably in the next few weeks. Marvels, guys, I mean, just because there's nothing else, maybe. Hunger Games, and Next Goal Wins, and maybe Hunger Games does better, but Trolls for Kids, Napoleon will do well. Thank you again, Apple and not Netflix. Disney's Wish, that has a chance to be very big because there's nothing else really. And then we get into the bike riders. Can't wait. Boy and the Heron, which of course we talked to Menzel about. He loved that film, really liked it. Wonka, and then Aquaman. We saw the trailer. I don't even want to really talk about Aquaman. I have no interest. I think the first one is the people who love Aquaman #1 and don't mention that it's an hour too long on that back end. Aquaman was 1 and 2 in one film. How do you not like have an issue with that? It's so weird to me how some people just don't see this. It's right there. Like, it's not hard to see Aquaman and realize that that thing is outrageously overlong, and then the last battle takes at least an hour. How do you not? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing as a critic if you don't notice that? I really question some of these people. Like, I don't know how their brains operate. I know mine's weird. I get it. But I also know that I have pretty good taste. And I know that if I saw that cut of Aquaman, that these, I'd like, we're cutting this into 2 films. This is outrageous, dude. You're going to cut this thing down. I would have gone off. I would have just absolutely unloaded after that test screening. There's no way in hell we're going to put this out at, what was it, 220? You're going to make this 145, and you can take some of that, the back end, and you can put it in the second one. We're not putting this out like this. None of them do that. The executive like, that's so great. I love that. No, it's not. It's too fucking long. But listen, here's why Hollywood's cooked. Because these films are not Barbenheimer. These films are not Eaton, definitely not a Maverick, definitely not a Batman, any of the films we've seen over the past 2+ years that were massive. Hell, it's not a Thor Love and Thunder. None of it, right? But you guys know I love more than you. Okay, fine. I really did enjoy that film. I thought it was fun. I know I'm not a comic book nerd. Sorry about that, guys. But it is a fun film. Okay, so the problem is these films aren't great, and then you have the fact that they're not being made. We had 2 months of strikes. 4 when you cut the writers, right? 4 for writers, 2 for actors. We're losing 2 months of Deadpool 3 shooting. Whatever movie was underway right now has to be pushed back. So the problem is going to come not now, right? You don't notice the problem at first. You notice it after. Remember COVID, when they shut everything down, everything was okay. And then all of a sudden, when we had all the shutdowns, then we had problems getting stuff in stores. Like, I remember going to the store, to the Walmart I shop at. Yes, I go to Walmart. I love Walmart. Sorry. I mean, the people in there are weird and creep me out, but not all of them, but a lot of them. But I love a lot of their stuff, and their great value brand is fantastic. For the price, what a bargain. Man, this channel's weird. So here's what I'm going to say, is that, remember when then we couldn't go to the store and you couldn't find anything? Like my seltzer that I drink, this Clear American. If you guys take this from me, I swear to God, I will come after you. My favorite drink next to this drink, it's my second favorite drink. But they didn't have it. And I go to the store and it was empty. The store shelves, because we had the cumulative effect of the trucks being messed up, the shipments moving around, people not working, they're at home. That's what's going to happen to Hollywood right now. Hollywood is not making movies. So you wait till next year. You think things are bad now. Just wait till they run out of stuff. Like, when we get to like next January, February, March, and these films are not finished, and even further, obviously, into 2024, we're in trouble because these films aren't being made. So it's going to be really bad, right? Like, I mean, like, really, really terrible. Couple comments. We'll get to the TIFF winner. Because here's the why it's important. The TIFF winner, Toronto International Film Festival. The winner was the film that Scott Menzel raved about last week right here on MMT. Do you remember what it was? Because it won Best Film, or at least I guess it's Best Film. Or is it Audience People's Choice? People's Choice. It's Billy the Puppet. No, there's no way we're not going to run an X-Hamster. I'll get booted the whole channel. Jose, talk to me. I think I have a reaction stream. Go check it out. It's there. It's there somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry if some of it's not there. I don't think it's horrible, Spider Sensei, but I do think that it is interesting. I like the filmmaking. I like the look of the film. Whatever they shot that with looks really great. I don't like the ending. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but overall, I enjoyed it. Wasn't scared, but it was cool. I like how it came back together at the end, right? That was smart. I really like that. Not true. Not true. By the way, you're spelling hamster wrong. That's totally unacceptable. Oh, Dan White. Dan. Oh, we've got Mega YouTube. Look at you guys. Joe, you guys are loyal MMTers because you just nailed it. American Fiction is your winner of the audience award. This is the movie that Menzel raved about last week. And it's got Jeffrey Wright as a writer. First of all, Jeffrey Wright is an American treasure. Even though is he American? Or is he British? Oh God. Whatever. He's a human being treasure. And he is so fantastic in stuff like, just going back to, I remember going to French Dispatch. Whenever he's in the screen, you're just like, I love you, Jeffrey Wright. Like, he's just my kind of guy. He's interesting. He's cool. He's smart. He's got everything. So you have him as a writer? I can't wait to see this thing. First-time director, Cord Jefferson, The Barbed Satire. Jeffrey Wright, as a writer to his dismay, achieves enormous success after a joke writing a book filled with what he feels are the worst and most pandering cliches of black representation. This sounds like on the nose. I can't wait to see this. It's MGM, which gives me a lot of pause because MGM, man, they really did Cyrano wrong. I may just go back. I'm sorry. Cyrano was fantastic. Who saw Cyrano? Can we just talk about that for a minute? Did anyone see Cyrano? Cyrano, whatever. Cyrano. Did you guys see Wherever I Fall? Did you or did you? Can I just? I don't care. I don't even care. I might even have to. Hold on. I'm gonna play just a second of Wherever I Fall. Just for. I mean, literally, like. Oh, give me 1 second. Just so you know, as soon as I hear it, I might start crying. If you guys didn't see Cyrano, that's your homework for tonight. Here it is. Get ready, everybody. No, I'm not. I'm not sick of having issues with my webinars. I like StreamYard. Here it is. Just I'm literally back in the theater right now. Do you know those moments when you listen to something, the score, or in this case, the song, and you're there? I'm in the Landmark, West LA, on a Tuesday night, watching this on the big screen. I'm there.
I have a wife I haven't seen since lilacs bloomed in St. Italy.
I'm not even kidding you guys. I gotta pause there, but here's the deal. I'm getting goosebumps. That scene was, if not the best scene of 2020. Is it 2 now? Shit, was that last year? I think it was. It's been like these years are like gunning by. That scene where they are going to battle and then the soldier starts on one and it goes to the next. If you guys have not seen Cyrano and you've not seen that scene, Wherever I Fall, just trust me. Thank you, Johnny. It is soul transcending. You are human in a way that, like, that's what film does. When you get those moments, that's what we live for. And you don't get them out of The Nun 2 or Haunting in Venice. You get it in Cyrano, where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I am elevated. My soul has left my body, and now I am in a different plane because of the use of Joe Wright, in this case, the images with that song. And it's just, you feel it. You absolutely can just, in your deepest part of you, that is one of the best scenes ever. I mean, certainly that year. I mean, I'm just telling you, if you ask me like scenes that no one talks about, it is Wherever I Fall from Cyrano. It's that amazing. If you have not seen it, you must see it. Very underrated. And the problem is that MGM handled that film and they completely botched it. They botched the film by putting it out like, COVID and all. Just put it out. Let us see it. They held it and then they didn't do anything. That should have been one of the best films of last year. It was a best picture, no questions asked whatsoever. That is a direction, certainly a contender. and a best picture without question. First of all, Cyrano is much better than Everything Everywhere. Like, that's the thing about that makes me so angry when you talk about it, Everything Everywhere all at once, and you have a Cyrano sitting there, and yet we're not going to ever talk about Cyrano again. Nope, it's never going to happen. We're never going to talk about Cyrano. We're going to talk about Everything Everywhere, the most overrated film to ever win Oscar in the history of the Oscars. We're going to talk about that forever. We're going to talk, well, I mean, Coda sucked, but that's not even overrated because it wasn't good. It's just a Hallmark movie. But you talk about the praise that was heaped on. I'm doing it again. I don't care. Everything Everywhere all at once. It's criminal. It is a criminal action that was the best picture of the year when you had things like Cyrano in the mix, and yet it didn't get there. I believe it's the same year. If I'm wrong about I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure it was. Time is flying by. But that film was done dirty, and it makes me furious when I see subpar films that, listen, I don't think Everything Everywhere is a terrible film, but the back end of that film is, I can't believe no one made them edit that down. I cannot believe no one at A24 had that conversation with them. I mean, I can't. It's like the Ari Aster $35 million for Beau is Afraid. What are you doing, executives, A24? You know what you're doing? You're like, oh, you're so great. Everyone, no. When's the last time they gave a studio note? Like, seriously, when's the last time someone there said, listen, this is ridiculous. You got to cut 20 minutes out the back end of this. But it's really, let's not focus on Everything Everywhere. Let's focus on Cyrano. These are the films that deserve attention that didn't get them. Always go back to Drive. How was that not like Best Picture winner, or certainly right there? You kidding me? It gets a sound nomination. That's it. The Oscars are a joke because they don't represent the best films of the year. You might have Everything Everywhere somewhere on your top 10, but you kidding me? The number one film? Hold on. Let me just go back. I got to do this. Just give me a second. It's because, I told you that the time flies by. I mean, I honestly get all the years bled together where I just go, I don't even know what. Hold on for a second. I don't even know what's what. Okay, here's Awards Ace. Get out of here. I don't need an ad. Well, actually, I don't mind ads for me because I'm watching on the side. I don't need to be pushed. Why are they pushing bras for me? Okay, here it is. Here's the Best Picture nominees from last year. You already know I should have these all down, but I'm telling you, it flies by. I'm already on to the next year. First of all, Tar should have won, right? No question. But Everything Everywhere wins. You got Maverick in there, All Quiet, Fabelmans, Banshees, Elvis, Tar, Avatar. Oh my God, Avatar 2. You kidding? What an embarrassment that's there. Women Talking, vastly underrated. And then Triangle of Sadness. I'm pretty sure, Cyrano was last year? Or was it 2 years ago now? Whatever. If Cyrano was last year, it should have been there. I think it might have been 2 years ago. But Tar, guys, Tar versus Everything Everywhere? If that was a boxing match, one punch, it's over. It's done. Tar wins. Thank you, John. I just ranted. Fine, then I'll use Tar. It's another excuse. I just totally did. Gone Girl, you've been really wrong lately. You've been really wrong. We got to get your head examined. What was the one you sent me the other day? Fabelmans was not a good film. We know why it's there, because of Spielberg. All right, let's open it up. We got about 10 minutes here. Let me make sure I didn't get. I want to do this real quick. Oh no! Hold on, I gotta do a whack film thing. Give me 1 second. A whack film review. You guys ready? I got to go back to Haunting in Venice, a film that no one will remember as of like tomorrow. I mean, films there, 77% audience score. That's terrible. Audience score should be way higher, like for a film that's like that, a commercial kind of thing. Tomato meter at 79, that's too high. Let's go down and find a couple people who said this was a good film so I can laugh at them. It's enjoyable or familiar. It's not enjoyable, and it is familiar, but it's not enjoyable. Haunting in Venice is cracking good fun. Sarah, that's a massive fail. By scaling down and focusing on the smaller elements of both the plot and the characters. No, first of all, this film's dull as hell, so what are we even talking about? For those who enjoy their sleuthing on the big screen with impressively conceived set piece, no, the editing's terrible, James. James, how do you miss the random edits? Like, here's a shot of this. Like, even, it's funny, like, told you I've been doing this for a long time, and you get better. You just do. You just get better. The opening, if you had, please say you didn't see it, Haunting in Venice, there's like a bunch of birds he takes a shot of, and then he does another cutaway and he goes back, or there's something that happens at that moment. And let me tell you right now, right at that moment, I go, Kenneth Branagh doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I can imagine, I would love to sit down with Christopher Nolan, like, and sit next to him and watch him, and then afterwards he would tear it apart because as a director, he'd be certainly better than me, I would hope. I mean, I'm pretty good, but Nolan. So Nolan would go, "Oh my God, Kenneth Branagh, dude, stick to acting." He would just go off. I mean, even though he loves Kenneth Branagh and Branagh's worked with him certainly as recently as Oppenheimer, as a director, I don't think Branagh has learned much from Nolan. I feel like Branagh is in his trailer. He's not paying attention to the set because the movies aren't great. I think that what I like is not the direction so much. Certainly, there's a lot of things. The direction of Belfast is not fantastic. It's fine. It's serviceable. The thing that makes Belfast enjoyable is the little boy, him in school. The moments of Belfast elevate the film, not the filmmaking. So I would just say Kenneth Branagh needs to just stick to acting. It's the best Christie. No, first of all, they all are boring. I didn't saw the first one, so I can't say that. But it's not a cinematic escape room. Michael, these people are bad. Guys, I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore with some of these critics. I just can't. They're just not good. They have terrible taste. Because here's the problem. Of course you did, Jeffrey. It's boring as hell. The Nun 2 is better, but it's not good. But they're both bad. I mean, right? But you're comparing two pieces of garbage, right? Here's two pieces of shit. Which one do you think? They're both not good. The Nun 2 is not scary. They're not even. I don't even remember if there was a jump scare. Was there? Wow, I didn't even see Artemis Fowl, but apparently it's awful even for a streaming movie. Good. Pile on Kenneth Branagh. I told you guys about Kenneth Branagh. He's like the nicest guy. Sorry, I got to regale you with my Hollywood stories because my whole life revolves around meeting celebrities. It's so not true. But when we were at the Irish bar, they had a Belfast event, and it was down at whatever the saloon is, Molly Malone's. I think it's Molly Malone's down on Fairfax, which is near the Academy Museum. It's in an area that used to be nice on Fairfax, and then I got out of my car and it's like I talked about, there was a scary zombie homeless person. Not because they're homeless, but he was like a zombie. Guys, I'm serious. You get out of your car and he's like, what? So I go, okay, I'm going to park over here. You almost have to do that. I feel so bad for the people that have these houses. They're like, I know, oh God, here comes everybody. He just said the rich people should. No, but I'm saying, imagine spending like $1.5 million, $2 million for the house right down there. And then literally there's a homeless encampment roughly 50 yards from your house. Like, can you, like, that would not be, I'm sorry. I'm not saying I don't want, but we want to help these people. My point is you shouldn't have to walk outside your house and have a tent. I know the world sucks now. I get it. I'm just telling you that we have to figure out a way. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But we cannot just allow this to happen because then we're seeing the cracks everywhere, right? When you don't enforce the law, people walk in and steal shit. When you don't, $1,000 free, then what's the deterrent for someone walking in and just grabbing things and walking out, which happens all the time here? I mean, all the time. I've never seen it happen in front of me, but I've heard stories that people, you see them on the news, right? It's all the time. They come in, grab things, and walk out and get in their car. It's like with a license plate. Can you imagine? I would never, first of all, I wouldn't do it, but if I did, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, they're going to track me down. No, not in California. Steal it. There's your license plate. We got the license, but no, it's good. But you just turned right on red when it's not supposed to be. We're going to give you a $300 ticket. But let that guy steal his shit. There's where society's fucked, right? When we worry about someone going 5, 10 over the speed limit instead of, because that's the easy crime, right? Giving me a ticket, which, yes, I got a ticket like in the last 6 months. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was so angry. It was like $200 for something stupid, like not stopping fully on a red light. It was nothing crazy. And anyhow, so you have that because they can police that and get money out of me. But the homeless guy, oh, well, he doesn't have a house. We can't do anything about that. So we're just let him do what he wants. What? No, you can't just let them do what they want. You can't do that, man. You can't do these things. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not, I don't, guys, I'm not rich. Whatever. I don't care. I don't need it. But the thing, no, I really don't. Like, I say this a lot. I was talking to somebody again about just in general, like life. I derive my value in life not from money. And I think that when you do that, it opens everything else up because you don't really care so much. Now, you need to have money to obviously pay the rent, to whatever it is you're doing, right? You got to be able to pay the bills. But beyond that, I don't need to have the latest, greatest iPhone. Oh my God, those people. The latest, greatest Tesla. I mean, first of all, I don't want a Tesla. You know why I don't want a Tesla? Every day I go running up and down Sunset. Yeah, no, shirtless, whatever. So what? I go to the gym. Let me do it. And then I'm running by the charging park. There's a Tesla charging area right in the middle of Sunset where the old Tower Records used to be. It's right in the old parking lot. So here's why I want a Tesla. Can I explain? It's how could you not want a Tesla at this point? I want to pull into that lot and wait in line to get my spot to charge. So not wait in line for it to charge. I want to wait with like 3 or 4 other Teslas to then get the energy pump so I can fill up my car and wait longer. That's why. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Give me a Tesla. How much are they? What? It doesn't even make any sense to. Oh, but you're saving the planet. Really? From mining the battery materials? You guys seen the pictures of that? It's just all. I'm telling you what. But it's virtue signaling. Look at me with my Tesla. I'm such a good person. But look at the giant crater that it took to make the battery. Like, if you look into that stuff, there's so much. Listen, I'm just saying. But who wants to sit around and wait? Can you imagine going? This is so like this. It'd be like going to the gas station. And not pulling up and getting gas like we all do. Pull up, and then you're going to wait 20 minutes or so, just sitting there, 20 minutes. Then after that, you're going to finally get up to a pump, and then it's going to take you, how long's it charge? 30 minutes, an hour? 30 minutes to sit there in your car because I have all the time in the world. No, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I don't need a Tesla. Good luck. You're not going to sell me on one. I have no interest in an electric car. I mean, I'm talking 0%. Is there a way to have zero interest in something? Because it literally, not even a 0.1. Do you want a Tesla? No, if I got one, let's say if I was on Price is Right, and they go, here's your Tesla. I'd say, thank you. I'm going to sell this. How much is this worth? Because I'm going to sell it and go buy a normal car. I know the elites hate hearing that, but I don't care. And Elon hates hearing that. Don't give a shit. I'm going to sell it from the Price is Right. I'll probably put it on Craigslist and make it like 5,000 or more off. So it sells fast. I'm like, thank God I'm gone with the Tesla. I don't have to wait in line to charge it. You're so selfish, Weber. Why don't you want to sit in line for an hour and then wait an hour to charge it? What's wrong with you? But they're so cool. Teslas are so cool. You know, listen, here's the thing. I say this. If you like a Tesla and you have one, that's awesome. But you need to make certain that the reason you have the Tesla is because you want the Tesla, not to show it off to other people. When I have my football shirts, I do not have them to show off. I enjoy them. I love the colors of them. I love the thought that they came from the individual team, across the globe. I ordered this directly from Norwich. You can't just go to the store and buy this. That's what I like. It's kind of fine if you like to. I guess I'm cosplaying a football player, soccer, for those of you in the States. But the point is that it gives me joy. That's fine. So if you're driving around a Tesla, Ferrari, Lamborghini, not because you like it or could afford it, but because you want others to appreciate that, then you're living your life backwards, upside down. You're screwed. You can't do that stuff, man. Look, it's like the channel. I used to sort of care when I started, like, oh, we only have this. I don't care anymore. I swear, guys, listen to me. I don't even look at the views or any of that. Doesn't matter. Don't care. I enjoy doing the show. I just come on here and riff. The fact that a few of you like it, that's awesome. But I don't like it. I don't find validation in views or any of that. If the views are up, fine. So be it. Don't care. It's cool, but I'm not going to go for that. Does that make sense? So my intention is just to get on here and deliver a show that's somewhat entertaining, not to, I want views. Because that's what Gore does. Let me hammer Gore again. I'm going to do it. Gore's like, how can I max? Oh, let's talk about RRR. Let's talk about Star Wars. Let's talk about Marvel. Let's talk about DC. And I started to do a little of that, and that's not what I do. I don't talk about those things. I can talk about them if they're out. I am a movie theater guy. That's what we discuss here. We talk about the quality of film. I don't want to talk about, a movie. I like RR, don't get me wrong, and I like Jawan, but I didn't do you see me still talking about Jawan trying to get an audience to watch? Because here I want to talk about that's what Gore did. He did. He 100%. He asked him that. If he tells you no, he's lying to you because he knows he did. He knows it. And that's the thing is if someone came to me and said, did you do RR? I'd I kind of added a lot of RR shows because I knew that I'd get a lot of views from it. When's the last? I've never done that. I didn't do the Beau Was Afraid stuff because I got views. I hated the film. Do you see the difference? It's the intention, right? The intention is to do a good show. I don't care. I don't want to see a bad film. I wanted to come on here and rave about Beau Was Afraid. It's terrible. What do you want? Otherwise, I'd just go, no, Tarantino, that would be wild. That would be wild if Tarantino was on here, because I would ask him some shit that you'd be like, he might like leave. I told you the story of Tarantino when I ran into him at the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood FYC event down at Frank and Musso's here. Musso's, the old steakhouse here in Hollywood. He's there along with everybody. That party was, listen, I've been to a lot of these parties, but that party in particular was everywhere you turned, it was like someone famous. Like normally it's a bunch of like nerdy film critics. You look around and go, oh my God, these people. Well, I mean, fine. But then that, whatever. It's true. It's true. They're nerds. They're all nerds. You look at them and you're like, do you? Nah, forget it. I'm not going to do it. But then it's like, here's DiCaprio. Here's, you name it. That night was just star. And not that I care. I'm just saying it's cool, like DiCaprio, because not because he's a star, because I want to talk to him about Wolf of Wall Street. I want to talk to him about what these things. That's more interesting to me. But when I saw Tarantino, he was like busy, and he's like, Tarantino's like this. He's like, yeah, really fast. Have you ever seen? He talked, and I go, hey, real quick, what? Here it is again, the Tarantino story. So I go, hey, Quentin, real quick, because he was like getting slammed by everybody. I go, what were your top 3 films of the year so far? And he goes, The Irishman, Crawl, remember the alligator movie, and Dr. Sleep. And I went, really? And at that moment, you guys know the story. Come in. What happened next? What happened next? What was the next? I said, really? And I asked him a follow-up question. Anyone who's watched this a long time knows what happened. Okay, I'll just say it. This is going to take a while for you guys to reply. I said, thank you, Gone Girl. You know the channel. I said, wait, what about Parasite? And that's where he turned into the Incredible Hulk. On the spot. Tarantino looked at me. He was just like, Dr. Sleep. And all of a sudden he goes, Parasite. No. And I went, whoa, what? Like, he didn't like say, he just was like, Parasite. I go, whoa. Because that was the year, as you guys know, with Parasite. Wherever I went, any party, any event, what was your favorite film of the year? Name 3. Parasite. Top Parasite. It's in there. Parasite. Why do you think it won? Tarantino was like, Parasite. What? And remember, for those of you who haven't been here for a long time, let me remind you of what happened. This is why you get this information when I go to these events, because you get the scoop on some shit that's real. That was the whole year that he was, every time the Bong won something, they had a picture of Tarantino in the audience going like this. And everyone was like, oh, he just caught him at a bad moment. No. Tarantino was pissed at Bong for something. And here is my theory about that for those of you who missed it. I think that Parasite was altered somehow through, because as you know, Quentin is friends with Bong, at least was. Quentin gave him a note and said, why don't you do this? Because the ending of Parasite is Tarantino-esque. And because of that, I think that Bong probably stole his idea or took some of it and didn't give Tarantino the credit. Imagine if I come on the stream and I start talking about a story about something, and Gone Girl, who sees me at the movies, something he says, and I steal it and say, I've got a great idea. Gone Girl's going to be like, you son of a bitch, which is fair. So I think that Bong took something from Tarantino about Parasite, more than likely the ending, and you took a note and used it, and Bong didn't say, I want to thank Quentin for coming up with that awesome thing. I was thinking about something different. He came up with this, right? Because you want to pass it off as your own. That's what I think happened. By the way, no other channel has that story. No other channel has that story, because it's true. It happened, because everything that I talk about here on MMT happened. I do not make up a single thing ever. If I tell you I like, as we get ready to wrap, because I'm done, I'm tired. Mountain Dew Zero, I drink this. I don't just hold up the can. It's empty for a reason, because I had 4 of these already today. I'm not, yes, of course he was, but it was different. It wasn't just that, Mega YouTube. It wasn't just the fact he was competing. He vehemently responded when I said Parasite. It was not just like that. It was not the, yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, because we're can someone get a hold of Pepsi? Because I need Mountain Dew Zero to sponsor. If Mountain Dew Zero sponsors the channel, I will put the logo up here. right there. There'll be a gigantic Mountain Dew Zero thing right there. I will proudly add that to the overlay. In fact, I would even get rid of the MMT in the corner, and I'd put the entire upper third would be Mountain Dew Zero. Drink it. That's what it would say. Erick recommends Mountain Dew Zero. Pepsi, you owe me at least a case. At least a case, okay? So tonight's must-see, as I type it in here, I didn't have one. Here, hold on. Let me fix my mic here. Here it is. Hold on. No, did I spell it right? Hold on. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. Where the hell did it go? Did I get rid of it? Shit, I think I took it off the wall. No, it's up in the corner. It's all the way up there. Got it. Okay, here it is. And boom. You guys ready? This is tonight's must-see. It is Cyrano. For one more time, everybody. All back. Okay, you guys ready? Wait. Give me a second. And I'm going to go before I get hit with a copyright strike. Let me make myself really small. Go watch Cyrano. You're going to cry. And then I'm just going to, the stream's just going to eject.
I have a wife
Oh,
I haven't seen
this is why we go to the movies,
since
guys.
lilacs bloomed insane.
I can feel it. I am literally
She
goosebumps.
always wears
everywhere.
them
I'm back at the Landmark,
in her hair.
West LA, Tuesday
She
night,
lets them fall down
late 2020.
everywhere.
Check
I
it
can
out.
see her in the
I'm out. I'll see you guys
glowing
on
light,
Thursday. Good night.
dressed in